Cheers, gentlemen.
All right. Let's do this shit.
Let's do it. Welcome to the Puff Drink Talk podcast. I'm your host, Konrad Schubach.
Dylan Wilson.
Hilton Kill.
Andreas Schmidt.
And this week, we are going to be talking about military, veterans, and all things supporting our troops. Because as much as this is a bird-supporting podcast, it is also a military, veteran-supporting podcast as well.
That's
right.
It is.
On top of that, we are also going to be drinking and smoking cigars. If you can tell from my voice, I have a little bit of a congestion issue, so I will not be smoking. I'll just be sipping on water, sitting this week out. But next week, I'll be back at it again.
I'll be drinking.
All my worries away.
And what are we drinking today?
Rum.
Spiced.
A spiced rum?
Dark rum.
All right.
Andre's having a
Beer,
Guinness.
Guinness beer.
This was imported from somewhere.
Imported from Dominican Republic.
Nicaragua.
Oh, Nicaragua. We like Nicaragua.
Cigar.
I want to go on a vacation to Nicaragua just to try and go to cigar factories.
To go
Friends of mine have a hotel.
Oh, cool.
Really?
Yeah, they made it.
Now we know where to go.
Yeah.
I know who to call.
What are we smoking today? Only 2 cigars today?
Only to see on the left there, we have the Plasencia 149, which
Which is the one that I'm going to be smoking. It's manufactured in Honduras. Is it a puro? 'Cause it's a puro. It's the wrapper, binder, and feelers from Honduras. So interesting.
they had a blend that was the 146. It's very classic, very popular. So this 149, this is their 149th harvest. That's where the name comes from. So it's
Very
just,
creative. Pretty much like the logos.
Yes, exactly.
So they name it after the harvest of what
The
they do.
harvest.
And it's an homage to the 146, which was very popular for them. It's a big seller. So it's supposed to be a very good cigar.
It's a gordito. I think the smoking time could be similar to a toro. So potentially. Okay.
Alrighty, we have the Gurkha Governor's Private Blend. It's a Ecuadorian Habano wrapper, Dominican binder, and a Colombian Corojo filler, and it was produced in the Dominican Republic. So, you all know Gurkha. They're loved and hated by many.
Yeah. Actually, this cigar, Konrad, you have that on the beach, and we were in between the La Gloria Cubana, and that one is like, I don't know, because we had the La Gloria Cubana the first day,
Yeah.
that one the last day,
Yeah.
and I was like, I don't know which one I like the best.
Yeah.
And you got shitty smoke from La Gloria Cubana when
Yes.
you were reviewing it.
Yes. Yes.
So I was like, I'll pull that one out and see if you're gonna smoke that one, because we had not reviewed that one on camera yet. So,
Not yet. But like Dylan said, it is a love-hate relationship with Gurkha.
yeah,
Yeah,
Some sticks are fantastic. Other sticks are...
total cralium.
Yeah.
that's cool.
I know it. But
Okay, so we're gonna start off with the cigars, and then we get back to the podcast.
All right. All right. We're back.
We are back.
we're better.
Man.
I'm so sorry not smoking
Yeah, I know.
on a special day, because doing like a tribute to the veterans.
Yes.
And it's unfortunate that you're not puffing with us.
Yeah, no, I know.
And I'm sorry about the smoke that we're gonna be blowing around here. So-
No, it's fine. It's fine. No, I took a Mucinex DM before. That does not pair well with alcohol. And 2, just to help relieve all of the congestion and everything. I needed it. I was up last night just hacking up stuff, and it's that time of season. It's like I said last week for Dylan, it's spooky season and sick season. It just goes around and comes around. So
November is upon us.
yeah,
My daughter, she missed a day in school this week because she just wouldn't stop coughing in the morning when
Yeah.
she woke up.
yeah,
I was like, okay, so we're not taking you. So I took the older one to school, and she stayed. She wouldn't stop. So when I got back home from work, she was still, like every now and again coughing,
yeah.
and not as much as in the morning, but she was still. And we have air filtration system in the house that's like, and it's marks like 1 or 2. The air quality is like up there.
Yeah.
So we had just changed the sheets in the bed, but
There's something in the air around here.
she went outside on the previous day.
Yeah. There's something in the air around here. Because it's my dad has it, my 2 kids have it. My wife, she's got an immune system like a horse. Like she's, nothing gets to her. She's been working in the hospital since she was, 14, 15 years old in Brazil.
Okay.
So she's so exposed to everything that, nothing can take her down. But But even at that, she's always complaining like, yeah, my throat's kind of itchy and it hurts and stuff. So it's just going around right now, which is unfortunate. But here's to a full recovery so that next week I can join you guys smoking a cigar.
Yes, please.
Yes.
Your wife has been on the military, hasn't?
And actually, that's funny you say that. Yeah, she was in the Brazilian army as a nurse. So in Porto Alegre.
Yeah, she's been around sick people
Since 14 years old. Yeah.
Do you have kids?
I do, too.
With two parents, both military?
Yeah, isn't that funny to think?
It's been very disciplined house.
Yeah, you think so, but it's not.
Look at this guy.
It's not.
Teddy bear.
It's not.
I know his wife and I know his kids. You know what I mean? I know their kids. No, they're just kids. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're just kids. Yeah, exactly. They're just kids.
Live it at work.
Yeah. But I brought some things for us to go over and look at, kind of show around some of my. So again, today we're going to be talking about military veterans. Sharing some stories. I am a military vet. I was in the Marine Corps. I joined in September of 2010, and I got out of September 2014. So I did my 4-year active duty. I was an enlisted military member. I wasn't an officer. I didn't go the officer route, but I did the enlisted route. I got out as a sergeant, and I did one combat tour to Afghanistan. Came back and got some pictures. I got some of my camouflage covers and everything that I wore in Afghanistan that I'm going to be showing and showcasing, and you guys wear and stuff like that. So.
That'll be cool.
Yeah.
I'm curious.
Yeah. So I got some stuff you guys can try on and obviously play around with this stuff too. I mean, I had to go through. I have a big old chest full of old uniforms and closet full of all my dress uniform stuff. But I was gonna bring, but they're so heavy to wear. But I'll start with our woodland covers right here. This is what we would wear when we were in garrison. So on our military bases within the United States or our military bases overseas, you would wear this 8-point cover is what it's called. And I know this is for a fact something I did wear because I wrote my name in there. I don't know if you can see it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I did some graffiti because I think I was on post and board, so I just scribbled my name and drew some stuff. But the ironic thing is, I used to have a shaved head. Man, this thing.
Snug.
It is on there tight. I didn't have as much hair, but...
I didn't know the hair grows after you leave the military.
Oh, yeah. Oh, 100%. Here and up there, everywhere. But yeah, man, this is what we would... Obviously a little bit more down, but you would have it up. We would have competitions to see who would have, like, the flattest, most... We would say perfect, and we would get, like, linen starch and then iron the hell out of these things, and it would be a box. Like it would literally drop and it would make like a solid like cardboard noise, like dropping. This is something I used to wear, and we would change this kind of like daylight savings time. So wintertime we would change to woodland gear, and then during the summertime we would have our desert gear. So you would have your two different types of uniform that you would wear.
And these camouflage as well when you're on the field, or?
Yes, actually. So they did some research. The Navy went to Digicam first. This is called Digicam. Just random patterns, digitized with, the various colors that you would see in the desert or in the forest. The idea behind it was that it simulates randomness in nature so that you could blend in a little bit easier to your environment. The old uniforms that the military, or at least the Marine Corps, had before was like your standard green and traditional camo that you would kind of see. This one, in my opinion, doesn't look as nice or as traditional, but it does a lot better at camouflaging yourself into your environment. The black obviously represents like the various shading that comes in from the the sun to the trees, the brown the ground, green leaves and whatnot, and then of course the desert and colors we would wear during the summertime is what something like this is what we wore in Afghanistan. So, and it does camouflage very well. So, But yeah, I can pass this around. You guys can check it out if you guys want. This is my Woodlands cover, and obviously you can see it has my name on one patch or on one side.
Shuba.
And then U.S. Marine Corps on the other. You would have your military ranking right here on the collar. It does not fit Hilton. Jeez Louise.
Look at that.
Can you explain to us what is the U.S. Marines? Fighters?
Yes.
Are you a part of the Army? Is that Navy? I'm sorry.
No. You're absolutely fine, and that's actually a great question. So it is Department of the Navy.
Navy.
Yeah. So we're a separate military branch, but we're also part of the Navy because we're reliant on the Navy. So we're a land and Jesus, Dylan.
This is a serious conversation going on here.
I have a red, white, and blue boner right now.
Go ahead.
Good.
Thank you for that honor.
You look good, Dylan. You look good. Looked good on you.
Felt good on me.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's a department of the Navy, and the Marine Corps does do water and land amphibious, excursions
So
and
that's-
missions. Yes.
Water and land, that's a pretty hard train. So.
It is. It's very hard training. And I'll get into that here in just a little second. But this is my Woodlands. You could put those on if you guys want. And then these are the desert camis. What's this pocket?
You don't find any money there?
If you do, you can claim it. It does have holes where. So I wore this one. I know
You
I
get
wore this
shot?
one.
That's why you have holes in it?
Yeah. No, you put your rank insignia on the top collar, so you can know what your rank was, and you had to be called.
Okay.
You had to be called So I was Sergeant Schubach. So if somebody came up to me and said anything, yeah, by your
Proper.
rank, yeah, by rank first. There we go.
Quit fucking with my boy. Should have brought my rifle. I got a flat desert earth rifle that would match this perfectly.
Yeah, there you go. I love that flat desert earth sweat color.
Is it Nike or Adidas?
Neither.
It's its own It's its own brand.
Probably produced by the Marine Corps. Yeah.
Insect repellent.
Yep.
I think they're made by the Marine.
So one thing is with the it's
Convenient.
insect and UV protected
Hey,
also.
it's kind of light, so it's not like heavy on your body, right?
No, it's not heavy at all. So
That's
and this is
interesting.
actually it's very durable.
Very, very. Yeah,
Very
it feels
durable.
like a tarp.
Yeah,
Yeah.
kind of. Yeah. So and actually this is thicker than this one. The desert is actually a lighter weight to it to allow more air coming in. I don't have any extra. My dad has them, but we had what was called frog gear. And frog gear was actually the uniforms that we would wear when we were in Afghanistan. And they were camouflaged sleeves because when you're in Afghanistan, when you're deployed, you would let your sleeves down. So technically when you're in like a military base with this, you're supposed to have your sleeves rolled up to here. Perfectly pressed, nice evenness along the arm. It's supposed to come up just above your elbow, but it's supposed to be a band rolled up, to past your elbow, right? When you get into Afghanistan, you have to let your sleeves down. The frog gear was basically like a very, very, very lightweight shirt. I don't even know how to describe it other than like a super soft silk, but very durable, front and back.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, you just breathing on it, you could feel somebody breathing. Like it just passes right through. And then the arms were like a lightweight material similar to this. Very, very comfortable shirt. Like you could wear it, in summertime out here and still be somewhat comfortable. So,
Interesting.
yeah. My dad has all of that here. That's one thing with being in the military. You get so much stuff, and you get an allowance every year to buy, renew, get new camis, get new dress uniforms, and all types of upkeep, and so you just start accumulating so much stuff. And then I was good friends with the supply Marines,
Mm-hmm.
so the guys who, like, hey, you want extra boots? You want extra pants? Put it in my box, thank you. So you gotta make friends. You gotta make those type of friends.
Oh yeah, always.
Always. This is my Marine Corps Recruit Depot booklet that you could buy. My mom bought this for me, but it basically goes over. Well, this was my deployment orders for me to go to Afghanistan. Everything is uniform, typed up, but it doesn't have my social on it.
Can you repeat this?
Well redacted.
This is actually what you have said.
My deployment papers. So they give you this paper saying that. So this says you are scheduled to deploy on or about 15 January 2012 for a period of approximately 7 months or more. And this was my deployment
This
papers.
is the message basic that you are going to war.
Yeah, going to Afghanistan.
Wow.
Yep. So that was in there, but it just this book highlights all of the different, the Marines. Let me see if I can find my picture. There I am, right? You can see it.
Oh, you're a whole different person right there.
Just a kid.
So
Just
fit.
a kid. Yeah, just a kid. But it has, everything we did, combat training and marksmanship, rifle class, medical and dental. This is my graduation. I'm on the bottom here with my mom after I graduated. It was me after I graduated, boot camp. So I'm in this book, and then I'm in this book one more time for the martial arts program right there. Pretty intense face. But yeah,
It wasn't Disneyland.
it was definitely not Disneyland. Pre-qualification for rifle, slideshow DVD. I didn't even know about that. So,
That's good.
So Marine Corps boot camp is the hardest of any of the militaries. It's also the longest, so it's 3 months. And then, so I joined in September, and then I finished right around Christmas time. So I was able to spend, normally you get a week, sometimes 2 weeks off after boot camp before you go back and do MCT, which is Marine Combat Training. And in that training, they do more war scenarios. That's where you get to throw grenades, shoot rocket launchers, grenade launchers, a heavy duty machine. But I was able to stay home for a month because it was right around Christmas time, New Year's, so I was able to spend Christmas and stuff at home, which was really nice. That was a blessing to be home for that. But then, I came back, and January through February, it's a month long. So after 3 months of boot camp, then you have to go back for another month of combat training, and then after that they give you your orders to which after you pick your MOS, which is military occupation specialty. Thank you. Yeah. So, and I was a radio operator. So there's 2 Marine Corps recruit stations. If you're this part of Texas towards California, you go to San Diego. If you're on the other side of Texas, you go to Camp Lejeune, which is in North Carolina. And since I was from California and some of my best friends were in San Diego, California, it was really nice that I went to boot camp there, and then Marine combat training was in San Diego, and then for my schooling, we actually went out to 29 Palms, which is Palm Springs in the desert of California, close to Arizona. It's a giant, used to be experimental Army base, and then the Marine Corps bought it from the Army, and then there's certain sections of it that is for specific units. A lot of combat training to prepare for Afghanistan is done out there. My school was out there, and I was a radio operator, so we would set up radio equipment, antennas, get in contact with each other. The biggest thing was learning about security codes. You would have to encryption. You would have to encrypt everything. It's what we called the little black box, and it would just hold all of the encryption codes, and we would hook that up to the radios, and then everyone would have to be on the same set of encryption codes in order to communicate to each other.
Which is a very important part of the war. People don't know
Yes.
how many war was won because decrypting message from the enemies. Right?
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. No, absolutely correct. I'll tell a story. So when we were in Afghanistan, there was one night where after boot camp training, you get deployed to your unit. My unit was a HIMARS, which is an artillery rocket system in San Diego, California. And so I was deployed to that unit, and then I got my orders to deploy to Afghanistan in January of 2012. When we were out there, one of the rockets, and of course the rockets have to be operational ready in case we ever get in, and I already told the story about where they loaded those, the they loaded the
A big
trucks
old plane.
and they took off and they went to the border of Syria and they were just on a target and it was like, hey, when you get ready, we're starting World War III type of stuff. Do anything and came back. But the thing is, they were on. So even the launchers that we communicate with from our headquarters base, they're using encrypted chat, and they have certain radio equipment in there that you have to constantly be changing out the crypto. One day, one of the launchers just lost crypto altogether, and one night, actually it was like midnight, I was just getting off of my shift for the night shift to come on board. So on the military base that we were stationed at, Camp Leatherneck, it's a huge military base. It's about, I'd say, the operational base where everything was, aside from the airstrip and the airfield section, just where all of the other military units were based out of, it's a good 5 miles by 5. Like it's a very big military base. Yeah, it's a big piece of land. But so we had to walk 5 miles with our little black box, wake up some, high-ranking official who was pissed off, screaming at us. Why did this happen? It's like, I don't know, but we need it. If,
It doesn't matter now,
it
right?
doesn't, yeah, it doesn't matter.
Do
He's pissed off, but it's like, we need this right now. So he gave they loaded up new crypto. They gave it to us in the little black box. We had to walk 5 miles back. It's like 2 o'clock in the morning. Loaded it back in the launcher. The launcher's good. My corporal, who was supposed to be watching over me because I was still like a junior Marine.
Where did you guys were at that point?
In Afghanistan.
You were already in Afghanistan.
Yeah. So and that was why it was so we needed to be operational ready in case somebody said like, hey,
okay,
you need to do something. Like you need to protect us. You need to defend us. Shoot rockets here. We went from having 2 launchers down to just 1. That's a huge thing that, if somebody was really in trouble, to have that support that we wouldn't be able to provide. But my corporal, who was supposed to be watching over us, he went to bed.
Oh my God.
And when he woke up that next morning, man, oh man, all of my senior military members for my battery were on him, and they're like, what the hell is wrong with you? Shoebox over here at 2 o'clock in the morning, walking 5 miles to go get crypto, and your silly ass is still sleeping. And they just grilled him. But what ended up happening was the unit actually got told to go home early because of my actions and kind of like proving that I was halfway decent at my job. I got to stay there the full deployment. They shipped his ass back, but I got to stay the whole time.
So you got the responsibility card.
I did. I got the responsibility card. I got promoted out there, and which was great. I wanted to stay out there and do my full 7 months. That's what they told me I was going to do, and I wanted to do it. So
how old are you?
I was 23.
22 years old.
Yeah.
And when you step into Afghanistan, what it was the atmospheres? Were you nervous? Were you scary? Or could you sleep? Could you rest at the point? Could you rest at
Yes, so they have
right on spot?
They have areas where when you first get there and when you leave to decompress and adjust to everything. So when we got there, the first week was classes from NATO officials on what you can and can't do, and get you acclimatized to the environment, acclimatized to being in Afghanistan, and just basically watch over you. Are you going to be mentally healthy? Are you present to what's happening?
Was there a feeling that anything could happen any moment? Some crazy guy could show up.
I mean, there is, when you're first there, and that's the deceiving thing, is that it's a very, I don't want to say very well, but it's a secure military base. There's only certain entry points that people can come in and out. So, and obviously the United States set up that base with the intentions of helping local people. So there were locals outside that were able to come into the military base, and they would provide services like cleaning toilets, or they would, do various, small jobs within the military base, but they would be inspected, patted down, make sure that they don't have anything. It's a very interesting dynamic of like, yeah, you're nervous, you're scared of like people coming in, but at the same time, like you see trucks full of Afghan nationals, people that live, just outside of your military base, coming in all the time, to clean toilets or to do various things within the military base. It is a deceiving kind of like false security. And it's funny you say that because a week after I left, Prince George visited, was it George? Who's the one that lives in LA who's married to the American? Harry. Prince Harry came out and they attacked the air base. So it's a military base and then with it like an air base, like a landing strip, and it's actually kind of an airport. Like they built an airport there. Hangars there for all of the military airplanes to get worked on, fixed, and like it's a legit airport. Like it's a very, very big area. A week after we left, Prince Harry shows up for some relations and do a spot, and I forget how many Afghan like Taliban members stormed onto the military base and started firing at helicopters and people there, on the airstrip, and they killed them all.
They terrorists.
Yeah. Well, and they blew up a couple
There
of.
was actually really war
Yes.
scenario there.
Yes. Like the base that I was just at, literally a week after, got attacked. Full lockdown. Everyone's in. Yeah. But so and that's it. Is like there was times where I got shot at and I never had to return fire. Well, one, we weren't allowed to. Actually, because you have to call in NATO if you ever get shot at, and ask permission to shoot back, and NATO always denied. No.
We gotta stop a little bit here for our first third of the cigar.
Yeah, no.
So let's get back to some of these actions because it's getting really interesting.
I'm gonna pick up beer for the next story.
Okay.
Yeah, I gotta go get a drink.
So we're back, and Konrad is telling us some good war stories. So I want to hear some more.
All right. Yeah. Well, actually, I got a photo album.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I'll let you guys look through them. This is like me when I swore in. I was just a young and blue shirt. Folks, my graduation, some random pictures with the family and stuff. Let me see. Oh, here's Afghanistan. This one, these two pictures I'm the most proud of. This was, if you can see it, let me move this finger.
Now we can see, yeah.
That was from the firing point I was able to capture when they got a fire mission and sent off some rockets. And you can kind of see where the
rockets starting.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's when it left. That's when it's
cool.
leaving. Can you see can't really see the launchers too well. But this is kind of your view of Afghanistan. It's just
it's desert-like.
It's just all desert. So when I was in the south of Afghanistan, here's the airfield. Here's the airstrip. I don't know if you can see it, but those are all Ospreys.
Mm-hmm.
Those are those helicopters that have
VTOL?
the two
Props?
on either side. And there's
Can raise them.
got to be like 20 or 30 of them right there. Let's see. These are some tanks that were driving past us. Tank guys are awesome. They've got a tough job. Here, it was one of those cheap disposable cameras that I did this on, but this is the British equivalent of what we had. Our launcher was on tires. It was like basically a giant flatbed truck with then rockets on the back.
Like a deuce and a half?
Yes. The Brits, on the other hand, was a tank on tracks. Those things destroyed everything. And then I took a picture of this.
You're inside of a vehicle then?
Yes, I'm inside of a vehicle. So later on we have ended up getting a vehicle. But that vehicle I specifically took a picture of because that was what the French used.
Okay.
Do you remember my story about the French when I first got to Afghanistan? I think I mentioned it.
I need a refresher.
So
we need a French story.
I was introduced about the cruelty of some governments. So my corporal at that time told me about how he had been to Afghanistan before, and he told me how a lot of other countries use Afghanistan as like training grounds for their military, just to kind of see how they would perform. They help out with the cause. But at the same time, they go in, they do a year, a couple years, whatever, and then they get out. The French, he was saying how they were not prepared whatsoever, and I didn't believe how could Yeah, a country spend millions of dollars to get their soldiers out here. When we land, after we landed, like literally the day after we landed, we're still in our decompression tents and getting accustomed. They're busing us over to take these classes by NATO, and we see these French vehicles, open top. You see all of their gear, like everything's in the back.
Yeah.
Like everything's in the back. Everything's wide open and exposed. This isn't fully armored. I mean, it's basically just a glorified Jeep.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of that week that we were in our decompression and getting ready to go over to relieve the other battery, and then we were going to take over and be in our area, saw the exact same French vehicles covered in blood.
Oh my God.
Covered in blood. And everyone was like, dude, what happened? And after we got to our pause, we were still in contact with the guys who we were relieving, and they were telling us that they were shooting rockets in support of the French, but the French got ambushed, didn't know what to do, and literally had
no
protection at all, and a couple hundred people of their guys just got slaughtered. And that was all that was left. And literally 5 or 6 people survived. I mean, they just got ambushed, and an IED went off and blew up a ton of their vehicles. They didn't really
know what they were stepping
into. Exactly. They weren't prepared at all for the situation.
All the Americans here and everybody we go through.
Everyone know, like the Brits, the British knew exactly what to do. The Canadians, ironically enough, they're badasses. They're tough. Canadians are bad motherfuckers.
That's very counterintuitive.
Yes. You think they're like the super nicest people, but no, the Canadians are...
They're not nice in war.
They can kick ass. Yeah.
Say sorry after they kill you. Sorry to do it to you, bud.
But anyways, I felt bad for the dude. The French just got murdered.
That's terrible.
Murdered. And then we never heard about the French being there anymore.
He got out after that.
I really do. I really do think. Yeah, I really do think that it was.
How would the odds it was just be a bad luck?
And that's
the militaries hate this luck thing on the field.
You obviously prepared to the best of your ability for the mission to ensure that there's no casualties. But like you're saying, sometimes you do not prepare well based off of the information. And they got surprised.
For some reason.
And they got surprised and ambushed. It's just I don't know how much intelligence and how much information was given to them prior to them going out. Or maybe they just, I don't know. I can't speculate to that. I really can't.
Okay.
I don't know how well the French, I didn't really interact besides this with French people at all.
Right.
So, but I served with, the Brits were on our location. They were in our pause. Like after the rest of, when I was saying everyone else got released early from that deployment, we stayed back in support. We had 2 other bases in other parts of Afghanistan, and we played a support role to them. So that's why I was always flying up north. I was always flying up south or flying down south in support of these other locations. The British didn't have a place to stay, so they stayed in our pause, in our location with us. So I served with the Brits, briefly with the French, the Danish, Canadians, Australians. I don't remember Italians at all.
Because they say that the Italians are like crazy. They're like, okay, we have to go. We go, and then
I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised at all. I don't remember seeing any Italians were on our base that I worked with. The Brits were badass, man. The British people, they were so cool. They were so much fun to work with. Couldn't understand a single word of English. Didn't understand a single thing. But they were really, really nice, cool people. But yeah, so more pictures of, Afghanistan. Yeah, we really improved that base, and then we just got rid of it. Yeah, I'll let you guys, if you guys want to look through it and stuff like that.
Sure.
Some of the craziest things that we experienced out there, I still to this day remember. We had a sandstorm come in it lasted 2 days, and my sergeant, he was saying that it wasn't the worst sandstorm that he's ever seen. He's seen worse, where you can't even see your hand in front of your face, it's so bad. But it was bad to a point. But he was like, it lasted 30 minutes and then the sandstorm went away. But he was like, this sandstorm lasted 2 days, 2 whole days.
Gee.
And I mean, I couldn't see from me to the chair, to your your work chair over there. I couldn't see that
How
far.
many feet is there? It's like 10 feet.
I'd say about 10 feet is about the maximum visibility that you could see. The whole base was just locked
I
down.
think about the mission of the sergeant on the field because we know a lot of the officers make decisions, the commanders make decisions for the whole group, but the sergeant, how much they are on the field, like on the spot, the war,
all the time.
all
All
the
the
time.
time.
So they be on the field, and in the same way, they have to give instruction, take care of the soldiers and everything.
Exactly.
That's a tough job.
It's a very tough job, and luckily I was blessed with some really good corporals. So I had corporals and sergeants that were ahead of me. I was just out of school and boot camp when I got my deployment letter to go to Afghanistan. So I was still very new to the Marine Corps. But luckily I had some good sergeants and corporals that had been to Afghanistan or knew about being in the military. They were almost getting out. So they were really, really supportive and helpful.
It's a very cold-hearted thing because you're in the field and you have to be conscious and you have to be in the same way calm enough to give instructions and lead the group, but in the same way you're killing people. The sergeant is
it's a very difficult position to be in.
Dangerous also.
Yes. So, and that's also what makes being in the Marine Corps so difficult, is that we, on top of it, we're always demanding perfection, and if you were to be in a unit or with other Marines, it's always like nonstop yelling and being like, hey, you need to fix this, you need to correct this, because every little
Mistake?
I'm trying to think of how to explain it. Every little thing matters. If it's not done to perfection and the best of that it should be, it's going to lead to mistakes.
It's gonna grow.
And mistakes kills people. So if you do not properly tie off, on this tarp, or if you do not properly do this, something's going to fall off, somebody's going to get hurt, you're going to destroy something. So everything had a purpose, and you had to be perfect 100% of the time.
That essentially become like a lifestyle.
It does.
The way you make your bed, the way you brush your teeth and get dressed in the morning.
I mean, my bed had a 45-degree angle crease in it from me tucking in the covers. My hat cover was one of those that was starched and completely flat up and down all the way around. My uniform was always ironed. Like, if you like it or not, you eventually start becoming that type of person. You start becoming kind of a perfectionist, and because a lot of times if you're not, then guess what? That means you're going to suffer, and I'm going to suffer. So what happens is all three of us are going to be like,
keeping each other accountable.
Get your shit together, because I'm tired of running 5 miles every goddamn morning because you can't tuck your bed in correctly. So get it together, or else we're going to kick your ass. So there's also that accountability of like everyone has to be completely together,
ready,
and then working as a unit.
Working as a unit, yes.
I experienced a very small portion of that being in a fraternity with the hazing and stuff like that. Like, you have one person messes up, you all mess up.
Yeah.
As much as you don't want to be that guy at first, it's like you end up becoming somebody that harps on everybody.
Yeah.
But that's what creates that bond and that brotherhood with everybody. You fight for each other hard.
Exactly.
I have when I moved to UK, right, in 2005, I lived in a hostel. It's not a hostile situation. It's just a hostel. And I understand what you're saying, because like when you cook, if you don't wash the dishes after you cook, the other person is gonna come and the dish is dirty.
Yeah.
So it's very similar to the, military, I guess.
Yeah.
He's like trying to find a comparison. He's like, yeah. That's That's how I would sum up my tenure in the military too. Is it's a little stay at a hostel. That sums it up.
Was there any military members in this hostel? Or was
No,
it just,
not at
You
all.
don't
No?
start to
Yeah.
blame him.
He felt like it. They were on my ass about those dishes, man.
I never really had to wash the dishes after I cooked.
Yeah.
So I had to learn
Yeah.
because I was held accountable. I was like, I only cooked last time. Well, this is Brazilian food, it's Hilton.
So I learned how to cook some
Yeah.
UK.
I got a question though, as a tourist, as a person that comes from another country.
Yeah.
We're all new, like by the movies and everything. We all knew already that USA has a large military, is a strong military and everything. That you guys are very is a patriot nation. You guys are proud of your country and everything. So we can all imagine that. As coming here, I was talking to Hilton like today. Like, Hilton, is there something special about Texas in the military culture? Are there a state they enjoy more?
Yes.
Or because we have these perceptions, or but we're just being in Texas. Is there any other state that have the same energy about military?
Maybe like Tennessee, or it's going to be
Somewhere
states
around
in
bases. Well, southern.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like potentially like historically.
Historically.
Civil War and like the South was always, we're just a different kind of people.
Yeah.
It's like the Bible Belt, so typically in the South it's very religious, God-fearing men fight for a cause, and then you have a lot of people in the family that ultimately were in the military, so it just kind of
So there
becomes
is something
generational.
about Texas.
Well, and
That make good military people.
and the thing is, so I'm not from Texas. I'm from California.
Okay.
But the thing is,
I wouldn't tell too many people.
yeah, I know.
So you're not that good then.
So
Thank you for sharing this, by the way. That's
Yeah,
really,
no.
that's really cool.
Yeah, you're welcome. There's some good Californians.
I saw the sniper movie. It was excellent.
And see, I have a hard time
American
watching. I have a hard time watching military movies now because it just like
Flashes.
Yeah, it's tough to watch sometimes. Some of them are like so over the top, like that's not
not
gonna
real.
happen. It's not real. Like that didn't happen.
Yeah.
But then I feel like so I haven't seen American Sniper because I know like it.
He was Texan.
Yeah, and he was Texan, and it was very.
That's a great movie.
I know.
But
I know.
the story behind it's a sad story
Yes.
at the ending. You know what I mean?
Unfortunately,
So
it
it's
was.
like that part fucking pisses. I get like chills when I think about it. Pisses me the fuck off to think of how that guy, what everything he did, and that's what ended.
Yep.
He
Such a
started like a
beautiful career.
foundation to help people with PTSD and to get them out of the house and to try and get them back accustomed, and took this guy to a gun range, and he's laying down prone sniping. The guy pulled a gun out and shot him in the back. The guy he brought to the range with him, a vet,
Yep.
that he was there trying to help.
Yep. And I mean that right there
Pisses
is
me off.
that right there is speaking volumes of how for veterans there are a lot of causes to help veterans get off the street
Mm-hmm.
because of mental illness. PTSD, help them get the medical help that they need because of the things that they saw and experienced. And I mean, when you think about it, you have an 18-year-old kid.
Yeah.
Some of them were 17. You can get, if you have parental permission from your parents and they sign off, you can join the military at 17 years old.
Can't even smoke a cigarette or drink a beer, but you could die for your country.
But you can legally kill people, and you can die for your country. And it messes with you. Your brain isn't even fully developed at
No.
17 years old.
Not at all.
Even me, when I went in and came out 4 years later, I'm a completely different person than when I first started.
You can imagine.
But I mean, I have to say that luckily I do not suffer with a lot of the things that other people suffer more than, and I'm thankful for that. Obviously, I hate for anyone to suffer
Right.
with it, but I suffer less. I don't have as much trauma from it. But it is one of those things that this is that's part of the culture. Unfortunately, is that
The movie was like so sad. That was the point that I know this is a true story, because there is
Mhm.
no way a director of Hollywood or something would finish a movie of a brilliant career
yeah.
this way.
Yep.
I legitimately got goosebumps thinking about that shit.
Yeah.
But that's what pisses me off, not to get political, but I want to send all this fucking money to Ukraine. You know how much money we could use to help our veterans and that are homeless here on the streets suffering, to put a program together to get them off the streets. But we just throw money at bullshit that has nothing to do with what's going on.
Well, and that's it. Is there's a statistic where every 10 minutes a former military member commits suicide.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Oh my.
Every
Is that
10
where
minutes.
like the push-up thing came from?
Yeah, the WOD, WOD, the CrossFit. What's it called? No, WOD is workout of the day, but what is that?
Let me see if I can find it.
Yeah,
I thought it was like
Are these functional fitness workouts?
Yeah, so it's a type in CrossFit military, maybe.
There's something that it's like it was the Veteran Suicide Awareness 2200 Push-Up Challenge. So it's like every day for a certain amount of days you're supposed to like hit a certain amount of push-ups, and you just talk about it to people to raise awareness.
Right.
But whatever you're thinking of, I'm sure is something else too.
Yeah, there's also like a CrossFit schedule that you're supposed to do to, similar to this, raise costs for veteran and military awareness about suicide and things like that. So
I've heard of people that fully firefighters that fully suit up and then they'll go to like a gym. They'll do like the stair step and like walk the Twin Towers like on 9/11 every year.
Yep.
Just little things to honor the people that have given their lives for us.
No, for sure.
How often would you get to be back home, or when you were deployed there, you stayed there the whole 4 years, or you had like month or week or something like you come back and then go back to war? Did you have any situation like that or no?
No. So the thing is, when I was deployed to Afghanistan, I couldn't come back. It was a straight 7 months. The Army does a full year. The Army will do a full year deployment, but you get 2 to 3 weeks that you get to come back to the United States or come back home, decompress for some time, and then you go back and finish your deployment.
As someone who's been there and done it, what do you think would be easier
7
for
months.
you?
7 months.
Stay the 7 months and get it done.
Just get it done.
The back and forth seems to me like it would kind of be a little tough.
It would be very tough. Yeah, it'd be very tough.
You got to adjust the environment again.
Yep.
Coming back and going there.
Yep.
And then,
Yep. No.
And it's like you get a little break from it, like a taste of different stuff, and you're right back in it. It's like
Exactly.
Me personally, I'd rather be there the full year.
Yeah.
And knock it out than even go home.
Exactly.
Although, of course, you miss your family and stuff. But
Yeah.
That's got to be tough getting back in and out of that environment.
Yeah. But I was single at the time. I didn't have wife or kids or anything, so it's a lot easier to deal with. I can't imagine someone being married or having kids or, I mean, that's a normal thing too, being gone that long. So that's a tough situation. But no, 7 months straight is how long.
You stayed there for 7 months
in Afghanistan. But when I got back, they give you can take time off or you can just go back to work. They mandate you take like at least a week off. They tell you like you need to take at least a week off. I took 2 weeks off. I went back home to see my parents, but where I was stationed at was in San Diego, and then my parents lived up in Northern California. So I just drove. I just drove 8 hours to go spend a couple weeks up there, and then drove back down to San Diego. So, but then it never felt like I was away from home because some of my best friends moved down to San Diego. So, I mean, every night, every weekend, I would just finish up work and go hang out with them.
That's cool.
Go party in PB and stuff like that. So
that's cool.
Yeah.
Any other story that you want to share?
I think today we have unfortunately the low recruitment on USA. So I think the Americans, the previous generation, don't have the awareness to know that what ultimately would maintain and sustain the conditions of the American.
Right.
It falls to the army, falls to the forces.
Yes.
And it seems like they really know that. So if there's any message that you like to tell for the young people you're looking to be a member of the Army, U.S. Army,
message aside from join
of encouragement to do it.
Yeah, I have a couple of things actually, and that's a really interesting question. I think first and foremost, it's important to respect and honor the people that have given their time, their effort, their hard work into training, and even if they don't do anything, even if they never deploy, even if they don't do anything, they were still a part of the military, and they sacrificed a lot of time, a lot of effort, being away from family. They sacrificed a lot of things to just be there, right? So I think younger generations still need to show and hold that respect for people for doing that, for showing that sacrifice to their country. The other one is I really think people growing up should join the military. And I'm not saying for like military or like to go to war or to do anything, but before I went into the military, I finished up high school and was going to community college, not really knowing what I wanted to do with my life. Afterwards, I got a free education. I mean, I got my bachelor's degree completely paid for. I'm able to buy a house with no down payment, low interest rates. It set me up and my family for success. So even if you don't know what you want to do in life, join the military and at least open and expand your vision of and meeting other people. I love telling the story about I met a Brazilian guy in combat training, in my combat training. And he and I just had a great time. He loved the fact that he freaked out seeing squirrels. Like,
This is so common.
Yeah. He was like, I've never seen a squirrel before. And it was just hilarious to hear that. But you meet people from all over the United States and all over the world that, gain citizenship and want to do something, of some support or, help out the country that provided for them, and they join the military.
I respect that a lot. And somebody that comes in and gains citizenship and then still joins.
Yeah.
That's cool.
No, absolutely. So yeah, I would say, obviously show respect for the ones that have paved the way, but I really think you should, even if you do 4 years. 4 years flies by like that. You might as well gain some knowledge, gain some experience, and gain some benefits. You get a ton of benefits. So
And a good mindset.
And a good mindset. It helps you out. So I really do think so.
That's interesting. I like it. Yeah, thanks. Thank you for your service.
Yeah. Thank you guys. Thank you guys.
Really appreciate it.
Yeah. Thank you guys.
Next round's on me.
Yes. That's why I'm never tired to offer you a cigar. We went to the beach together.
Yeah.
You actually had the cigar that Dylan's having right now, and remember they would have the margarita lime that changed the flavor to orange.
Yes.
And he picked up orange on that cigar.
Instantly.
And it's like, all right. So that was the cigar that changed the taste profile.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do we wanna do our battle of the logos?
I'm thinking it's time.
It's time for football. It's time for football. And I have the battle of the logos.
Beats you up and says sorry.
Right. They like you to know they're nice. They like this idea that you guys think they're nice.
Yeah. They're deceptive about it.
Should we pull up the scores, our tally from so far in the season? Because we're halfway through the season. We're going to start the week 10.
I think we should.
Do you have it available on here?
I think we can pull it up. So as of right now, for some reason, the logos are working fine for me. I got 70 points.
Huh.
Konrad, you got 66 points, and Dylan got 72 so far.
Close range. I started off hot. I've kind of slowed down the past few weeks.
Yeah. Week 7. 4 and 5 for both you and me.
Yeah.
Dylan.
My personal opinion. So we show all these beautiful logos, and he's going off the logos, but then he asks the experts on the panel to go into a deep description on the team and the matchup. And sometimes, on second thought, he switches. So it's not purely over which logo you like the best. There is some strategy and logic behind your picks. So the social experiment has been corrupted. It's no longer logo versus logic. It's a medley of both.
I caught him watching football.
Yeah.
I
was just going to say, Hilton's a perfect con man. I don't know anything.
Johnson.
I told him that.
Johnson started playing so well for Steelers last week that I was like, interesting.
Who?
Johnson.
We watched the
Is
Dragons.
that a Johnson
against
guy?
Rangers.
I heard somebody.
Johnson. Which?
I swear.
Johnson.
I had no idea.
Oh,
I was gonna say
I
someone
wasn't-
Johnson. You're like, yeah, that one.
Yeah,
Trying to get it out of you first.
The Dragons.
Really?
Yes, he's.
I told him
his
that.
cheerleader. His daughter is a cheerleader for the Dragons,
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
but the Rangers.
Well,
are so
it's
much better.
juniors, it's just like trying out.
Yeah.
I'm sure she will, when it comes time. But I told him this. I was like, when we get halfway through, I promise you're gonna end up watching a little bit of football here and there. And he's like, no. But I think here and there you'll watch a little bit.
I think
I'll force feed it to you too, because I watch it here sometimes.
He was hiding, watching like.
He's in the closet.
He's under the cover.
Undercover.
I think I watched the half until the half point of the game. Steelers against the other team, Titans.
I feel like a proud dad. It's like, just got someone into football. We got another one.
Yeah.
We got another one.
It's interesting that first
We're like
down.
Colt.
Yeah, that's first down, second down, and then goes back to first down, and it's interesting.
Yeah.
It's kind of
It's funny. My parents never played any types of sports growing up. My dad, they were real religious. They weren't really even allowed to because of their religion. So when I got into football, my dad knew nothing about it. And my parents were divorced, so he'd have to drive in like 4 hours from Beaumont to watch me. But every time he would, he'd have that yellow book. It was like Football for Dummies. And he read the whole thing, trying to learn the game just to figure out what was going on out there so he
Really?
could support me. Yeah.
How cool is
And
that?
he learned the game. So if you find yourself struggling to find the rules and stuff, there's a book that you could read that'll...
Yes, he
Or-
was.
I just
watching-
ask you guys because that's what I've been doing. I've been asking you guys.
You could ask ChatGPT.
You're watching with
Yeah.
us. You're watching football. No.
He's got
not
his
what
phone
you
right
think.
here.
It's not what you
Yeah. Yeah.
He's watching that. He goes, that Johnson
give
guy
me
did
up,
really
though.
good. So,
Andre's
two?
giving me up here. So.
no, that Johnson guy. I'm like, which one?
All of them.
I know. I
There's
was,
a lot of Johnson.
he also got me like, Deontay Johnson? Like, from the Steelers? And I was like, I'm not going to say it because he's going, yeah, that one.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
a Johnson guy there playing well.
Yeah.
Just have to say that.
Some guy with the last name Smith.
John Smith.
John Smith. Yeah, I'm not interested in this game at all. I hate that I even have to pick one.
Okay, which game? The Panthers and the
Panthers.
Bears?
Carolina Panthers at the Chicago Bears. It's just,
Chicago for me. Chicago.
Is Fields supposed to play?
I don't think he's playing.
Then I pick the Panthers.
Tell you real quick too before you. I don't know that they're much better, even without Justin Fields.
But you know what? Honestly, this might end up being a good game because both teams are so terrible that Carolina finally won one game. The Bears have barely won, so it might be a game where like the battle of the turds ends up being like a golden turd game. It might be a good one. I don't. You
I'd
never
rather
know.
eat a bowl of razors than watch that game.
So it's gonna be a
Whoever lost is demoralized.
it's gonna
Yeah.
be a good shit game.
Yeah, exactly. It could be a good shit game.
Okay.
All right, Justin Fields is doubtful.
Okay, so I'm picking the Panthers.
I'm taking Chicago.
Bears. Chicago Bears.
Bear 9.
I'm the only one. All right.
Bear 9.
All right.
We're in a unique position here where I'll give myself up on my strategy. You gotta pick different than us and get them right and have us get it wrong for you to
Yes.
overtake us.
Yeah.
Being in the lead in like a pole position,
You just have to
I could just
maintain.
make the same pick as Hilton for the rest of the year. No
Oh.
matter what, we will live and die on that sword together. So it's all up to you now.
So that's that. You see, that's a strategy. That's a strategy that he's doing because he goes like, okay, if we keep on doing the same scores, I will never be able to pass him.
If we take all the same picks, then we'll have the same score every week.
So, I feel like if we were betting money on these,
Mm-hmm.
and when we start next year, I think we need to start taking a poll and put some money in.
No, don't do that to me.
Cigars.
Because cigars. There we go. We'll bet box of cigars.
Box of cigars? I don't buy myself a box of cigars because I
The
never
loser
want
would
to
have
buy.
to.
I never want to buy like one cigar. I want to buy like packs of 5s, but I buy multiple.
Well, then
Because then I have different
then we
taste
could do
profile.
that, like a box, a sampler box.
Well,
Like a mother-lode kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
that's the idea of my strategy, but even this week, I promise you we'll get to a pick where he goes off one. I will not find it in me to agree with it.
Yeah.
And that will be the one that he inevitably gets right.
Yeah.
So It does go that way.
All right. So what we're picking here?
Indianapolis Colts at the New England Patriots. What do you think?
I did the first game first, so you guys go first.
I'll go first. I think the Patriots pull it off.
I know my pick already.
I think the Patriots do it. Patriots.
We're going to the Patriots because it's veteran.
There you go. Yeah, I like that, Andre. Yeah, I like that.
So you just sold it to me.
Yeah.
Just sold it. Dylan.
I'll take the Colts on the road.
Oh.
Because it's Texans. It has the horse thing.
You know, I was gonna go for the Colts first. The numbers are 4-5. They lost more than one, but they won more than the Patriots.
Yeah.
But it's the Captain American logo, so I'm taking the Patriots.
I really like Pat McAfee. The Pat McAfee show. He played for the Colts.
Hilton is becoming smarter in football.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I like to root for friends, which is why I picked the Seahawks last week.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Did it help you?
I don't know if I will again, but I don't know that I won't. It depends on the matchup. So we are at the Cleveland Browns and the Baltimore Ravens. Tricky game. This is a divisional rival.
It's not that tricky for me.
It's a bird on the screen. For
There's a
Hilton.
bird on screen.
I don't like both logos.
This is the
Yeah,
battle
both
of
logos are terrible.
this is the battle of the logos. You just have to go with the best or the better logo, not the best. Just this better.
That's true.
So the Ravens have a better logo for you.
Yeah, because they're birds.
Yeah.
Is Deshaun Watson supposed to play?
I'm looking up. Yes.
This is cheating.
Yeah.
This is the same as taking some paper with notes
If you
to an
touch
exam.
the phone,
You
you
can take paper notes.
There you go. There you go.
touch the phone for.
You didn't hear my pick. Deshaun Watson is playing, but I'll still take the Baltimore Ravens.
Okay. Birds. This is a bird supporting podcast.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Ravens also. I'm gonna do the Ravens.
I'm going to the Ravens. Next one.
I wouldn't. Just so you know,
Andre's like, okay, next one,
let's
please.
move along. I wouldn't be surprised at all if the Browns took that win, though. It's going to be a tough game. Texans at Bengals. I'll take Bengals.
Bengals.
The Bengals, the tiger one.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one that says Bengals.
Is this a food?
Yeah, it's the Tiger one.
Bengals is a food? No.
I'm gonna go with the Tigers.
They start off slow every season, and they've really kind of come into their own.
Yeah, they're really good. now.
Last week they looked really good. Joey B looks like he's back. He's mobile. He's moving again. His calf isn't really causing any issues anymore. Last week's game, he did rip a nail off of his throwing hand. Did you see that?
No, I didn't. That's nasty.
Didn't affect him at all. Played like a baller. So I'll take the Bengals.
Joey Cool. I picked Bengals. Sorry.
You took the Bengals?
It's the Tigers.
Texas. All the way.
Ah, all right.
And that one is also not that difficult for me. You already know my pick. It's the Land Rovers.
I struggle on this one because I lean towards what you're saying, but the Niners just lost 3 in a row.
So they are.
Will they lose 4 in a row?
I don't know.
And they just came off a bye week, so they just rested for a full week. Deebo Samuel's back. Didn't even have to touch my phone for that one. So, I don't know. This is tough.
Already said my pick. Unless you guys say something otherwise. But.
No, I think I'm going to go with the freaking Land Rovers because they're looking hot. I actually think they're going to be a pretty good Super Bowl contender.
I'm going to pick the 49ers.
I'm going to pick the 49ers because
You have to.
I was a fan of Joe Montana.
There you go.
Yeah.
Legend. New Orleans Saints at the Minnesota Vikings. Same record.
I know that the Saints have been playing well, apparently. You guys have been talking about it. But look at my hair. I'm a Viking. I'm Vikings. And I don't take Vicodin. No, I don't.
Those are from those weak bitches.
Oh, Viagra.
Vikings.
I'm Vikings. Andre's Vikings.
I'm a Vikings too.
I'm going to go Saints.
I'm going to go Saints.
I'm part German, so we're Vikings.
Listen, I didn't think the
On the
Vikings would
other
win
hand.
last week, and they did. But can lightning strike twice? I don't know.
Oh yeah. I've seen it. When you put a pole, the lightning strikes on that pole every time.
Happened to my uncle. Got struck by lightning twice. I'm just kidding. I'm just joking. It never happened.
Green Bay Packers at the Pittsburgh Steelers.
I'm gonna go with the Johnsons.
The Johnson. The Johnson. Okay.
I just created another
nickname for the team.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Steelers also.
Well, although the Green Bay Packers is the team of the people.
It's a community team.
Yes,
Yeah, it's
that
a
is true.
community team.
That is
Yeah.
true.
Yeah, you can buy stock.
Yeah. Okay. So,
I went against both of these last week. So.
on a second thought, I'm gonna go with the Johnsons. I'm not changing it.
I had a feeling. Yeah, I picked against both of these last week.
I'll go
So
Green Bay. For
Green Bay.
yeah, I'm gonna go Steelers. I want to go Green Bay really bad, but they don't look good. They won last week because Matt Stafford was injured and the backup came in and just didn't play well. All right, we're at the Tennessee Titans, the Tampa Bay Bucks. I didn't realize the Bucks fell to 3-5. They started off pretty good and they
Yep.
kind of really slowed down. Will Levis was named the starter in Tennessee over Ryan Tannehill. Regardless of if Tannehill is injured or not, they're rocking with Levis now. And I'm a Baker Mayfield fan, so I'm going to take the Bucks.
I'm gonna go Buccaneers also.
I'm gonna go Titans because I love to disagree.
The Buccaneers.
All right. Now we have a little bird-on-bird action for you.
Oh, this is the Battle of the Birds.
We go Falcons. Just gonna lead it off.
Arthur Smith just shaved his mustache because he's so disgusted with his team's performance.
As he should be. And
So-
that is the right move.
He's fired up and taking the birds.
I'm gonna go with the Birds on this one.
Oh, that's a good one.
Are you sure this is not a baseball team? I'm sorry.
It is a baseball team as
It
well.
is. Yeah.
It's the St. Louis.
St. Louis Cardinals.
Mm.
Yeah.
I'm going with St. Louis.
They lost 8 games. They only won 1 game so far.
Oh my God, I didn't see that.
Yeah, I wouldn't pick them.
They're going to the Falcons. You
They
see
are
that?
the Angry Birds, but you see that logo there? It's a little bit more aggressive, the Falcons logo.
It is actually
I'm gonna go with the Falcons.
sharp edges. This game is everything for them right now too. If they don't win this,
Goodbye.
basically. So they got to win that. We have the Detroit Lions at the Los Angeles Chargers. Detroit looks good, man. Give me the Leo Lions.
Me too. I was born in August, so I'm Lions.
I'm gonna go Chargers.
I was a boy.
He's a Leo.
Okay, I'm going with Chargers.
They won last week.
They did win last week.
okay.
They beat the Jets Monday night.
Yeah.
They just played.
They're notorious for
and
losing.
we all went with the Jets.
He took Chargers.
You took Chargers?
Yeah, I
Which
won last.
I guess when I was listening to it, that was right when Jim Motley came by. So I think I missed that. So I actually need to up. You got one more point because I took you down as Jets, so you actually got one more point.
They're catching up to
I
me.
saw you accusing me of fudging some numbers on here. I don't appreciate
I do
that.
not think 1 week I got 4 right. That's all I can say.
Well,
But you only got 5 right too, so.
Yeah, I was honest. If you want me to put a clip together showing your picks and then the results, I could post it on the channel.
It's all right. I trust you, Dylan.
Dylan's being fraudulent or flatulent?
Fraudulent.
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 Tonight he's been flatulent also.
We're lucky that smells don't go.
Yeah, it goes to that air purifier.
It goes to you too.
So-
Yeah.
The air pushes it all
I'm
around
gonna show a little bit knowledge in here. I'm gonna go Dallas.
I'm gonna go
Where's
Chargers.
the knowledge? I thought you were going to give information on the team.
Well, at least I know that the Cowboys are from Dallas.
Caesar guys
Isn't that-
betting.
That's true.
Isn't that
competition.
knowledge?
They're not showing knowledge.
I'm glad that you do know that that's the Dallas Cowboys, but now, if you didn't, I'd be concerned.
I'm gonna go Dallas Cowboys.
They lost last week, frustrated me. So, in spite of them, I'm gonna have to go with the New York go fuck yourself. I'm taking the Dallas Cowboys.
Would you spite the
You
team?
already knew that, though.
He never spites the team.
He never.
It's
does.
the opposite spectrum political.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah. Yeah,
You
really.
can't do it. I don't discipline my kids.
Okay.
I'm gonna go Cowboys as well.
Okay.
I'm gonna go Emmett Spitz.
There you go.
Jesus, that's much more knowledge than me. What is Nit Spitz? What's that?
Emmett Smith.
It's myth. Okay.
Smith.
Emmett
So he's
Smith
going- he's
is like
going-
Ronaldinho for us.
So he's going with the
Dallas
Johnsons.
Cowboys.
With the,
It's the equivalent of saying the Johnsons are
okay.
the Cowboys.
Okay. So sorry about that.
Emmett Smith's a legend. Now we have the Washington Commies at the Seattle Supersonics. What do you think?
Man, I am so disappointed in their performance last week.
And you're gonna spite the team.
I'm gonna pull a Dylan here to show support for my
Okay,
team. They need
okay.
it. So I'm
Okay,
gonna
nice.
go Seahawks.
Okay. What about you, Andre?
Commanders.
Commanders.
It's a tough game. Seahawks have the home field advantage. It's a big deal. If you've ever been to their stadium, you know why. It gets really loud. Sam Howell's looked good. He's had a couple of good games. Seattle coming off a really bad week. I think they're going to be a little inspired to do good. I'm going to take the Birds. Give me the Hawks.
I'm a Bird supporter, so I'm going to go with the Birds. And I also support a veteran friend.
There you go.
I'm outcast this one.
It's okay.
Yeah,
You know, it's not a... That's a tough chair. I mean,
It's a
it could
tough-
go
Is
either
it
way.
tough?
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
tough one.
It really is. The New York Jets at the Las Vegas Raiders.
Interesting.
Aaron Rodgers is going to have a chance to hang out and talk with Devontae before the game starts. And they are one of the most frustrated franchises in the league right now. They just fired their head coach and all of the staff, brought in a new guy. They all seem fired up. I don't know. The Jets are where they're at because of their defense. I think it's tough. This is going to be kind of like a defensive shootout. The Raiders right now have a
One
like
field
a-
goal wins the game.
potentially because
Yeah.
it's going to be
Yeah.
Aiden McConnell. He's a rookie, right? Or
Yeah.
he's a rookie, so doesn't
Yes,
have a lot of experience.
Last week was his first game, I think.
You got really good receivers. I think the O line's decent, but when you got a newbie in there, doesn't matter how good everybody else is. He's got to play great. And last week he played good enough to get the win. This is a really tough defense they're going to be playing against. So
He's been talking about for 3 minutes now, and I have no idea which team he's talking about. I don't know. I'm taking the Raiders
Hit us with
because
the
I think he's talking about. I think he's talking about the Raiders.
hit us with the knowledge.
Okay, so
Where are the Raiders from?
Las Vegas.
All right. That's all you need to know.
Yeah, I'm learning. I'm learning.
He's like in Canada. He wants you to know something that is not true about
Exactly.
I'll go with the Vegas Raiders.
I'm gonna go Vegas Raiders also.
I'm gonna go Raiders because
But then nobody's gonna score a point then, because when everybody goes the same team, we don't score.
Week to week, it really. I was gonna put that in the Excel spreadsheet too, like a win and loss percentage on sweeps. Some weeks, very high percentage win. Some weeks, very low. We're all over the place.
Really?
Which tells us sometimes we think we know what's gonna happen.
It's,
And we don't.
Yeah.
Obviously, we
Well, nobody knows the future.
Yeah. Nobody knows.
I mean, week one, Aaron Rodgers snapping his Achilles. You could go into one of these games. It's like 100%. You think you know what's gonna happen, and then a star player gets injured. Got the Denver Broncos at the Buffalo Bills. You know who I'm
what?
taking.
The Bills is the team that always pick on the video game, so we
I'm-
have an emotional boundary, the connection.
I'm a huge
So you're
fan
Bills
of
then.
Yes. So I'm Bills.
That's an interesting
Approach.
thing. Yeah. I'm gonna go Bills too. Broncos suck.
Been saying that since the beginning.
I fucking hate them. I hate the Broncos. I hope they keep losing. I really do. Put that as a clip. I don't even care. Broncos suck.
You're gonna be haters and
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Bills because I think on a fight, a horse and a bull,
Buffalo.
Buffalo bull
Yeah.
wins.
All the time.
So I'm gonna go
100%.
Buffalo Bills.
I think you're a little harsh on the Broncos there,
They
it was
deserve-
harsh.
They deserve every bit of it.
but it's for good reason because they're fucking terrible. And that head coach.
What is the problem? I want to know that. What is the problem? The
The
Broncos.
problem starts from the top down with the culture of the team and the coaching. They just brought a new guy in who has been retired for a little bit, and Sean Payton. And as soon as he came in, he started talking shit about the head coach who was just there prior.
Oh.
And he is now not a head coach anymore. He's the offensive coordinator for the Jets. And when the Jets played the Broncos, they absolutely spanked them. So it was a nice revenge game. But ever since then, I don't know. I just think he's a classless guy. I don't really like Sean Payton. I don't know. I think Denver's just an overrated city, overrated town. I don't like Denver very much. There's much better places to go in Colorado than Denver. Sorry about you. I'm taking the Bills.
We upgraded the.
So another sweep.
It's another sweep.
And then what is Los Angeles? Oh, they're there. They're on a bye week. Okay.
Chiefs, Rams, Dolphins, Eagles, all on bye.
All the three best teams in the league, and then the one worst team.
Jesus. Well, them and
The best team
the
is
Panthers.
is Los Angeles. Is the Lakers?
No,
No,
they're the
but-
worst team.
Oh, okay.
They're fighting for the worst spot
Must be joking.
with the Panthers. They're pretty fucking terrible too. No, the Chiefs are rocking right now. So are the Eagles.
The Dolphins are up there.
Oh, is that it? Is that it? The bottom of the logo?
That's Battle of the Logos.
That concludes.
Take us out then.
That's a wrap.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching this week's episode of Puff Drink Talk podcast. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed the stories and our, of course, football picks. Over the weekend, this Saturday is Veterans Day, so please go out and support a veteran. Tell them thank you very much for everything they have done. And also support us. Like, subscribe, comment.
Share a friend.
Share with your friends.
Of course.
Let us know what you think about anything.
And once more, Konrad, thank you for your service.
Thank you very much.
A lot
Very,
to
very
keep the world safe. Because that's what
more
America
people like
does. Yeah.
Cheers, gentlemen.
Cheers. Thank you very much. And support us as well.
Have a good night.
And to all a good night.